I'm going to be covering this issue as well. I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff that leads to your peak performance. And here's why. Let's say you're in your sweet spot. Okay? And I define that as you're using your talent, what you do best, to do work you love, passion, to produce results that matter deeply to you, mission. You can be in your sweet spot, and if you're not getting sleep, you will eventually break down. That's just one thing. Eating right, exercise, the whole 9 yards. But let me just show you where we are in this country. A new study reveals that less than 1 in 10 people, 8%, feel fully rested after a night's sleep. Shouldn't say good night's sleep. After a night's sleep. 8%. On average, Americans only get 5 hours of sleep every night. 5 hours. Now, let me just break this down for you. If you are awake 17 hours out of a day, so there's 24 hours in a day, and if you are awake 17 of those hours, so that means you're getting 7 hours of sleep a night. Are you aware that you have the physical, cognitive skills of someone who is legally impaired by alcohol? Okay? Doesn't mean you're drunk, doesn't mean you can't operate a vehicle, but you are impaired. That's on 7 hours of sleep. Americans who say they don't get enough sleep, by a tune of 68%, say that stress is keeping them awake. Joe, when you do work you love in your sweet spot, you're not so stressed.
Exactly. You're tired, but you're not stressed.
Well, you're not even that tired. You're going to have no problem going to sleep at night, right? You're tired physically, but you're going to lay your head down and you're gone. I know I do.
Oh, yeah.
But in my new book, I open up and I get real about what I was going through back in Atlanta. 2:30 in the morning. I'm watching that guy with the knives, you know. The knives are so sharp he could cut through all these cables. And I'm going, I can't believe I'm watching this clown. And then I realized, well, he's happy doing what he loves. Why am I not? Look, stress, too much work, toxic environment. 68% of people are saying they're not able to go to sleep because of that. 61% have no problem agreeing that political and pandemic news, in other words, negative news, is causing them to lose sleep. Well, of course it is. If you watch for a couple hours a night and you feel like the sky's falling, yeah, I'd have a hard time going to sleep too. But can I tell you, I had no problem sleeping during the pandemic. Why? I'm just not worried. I'm just not. And I got to tell you something. Most of you people don't realize that these news producers, these anchors, these reporters, they put a little extra drama on these reports because they know if it's really negative and scary, you won't move your eyes from the screen. You know? They just do. It's crazy. Even the weather channels turn into this, right? Storm system out in the Atlantic. Everyone evacuate! Why? There's a huge storm out there. Okay. Do we know where it's going to hit? No, but it's going to be scary. Listen, I don't ever have the news on in my house because I've got a preteen and 2 teens. I got enough going on. But if you just let a kid walk through the living room with the news on, no wonder kids have anxiety. They're 1 second from death and doom every time the news is on. You know I'm right, folks. And yet you get sucked in by it. What's next? I got to wear a Darth Vader helmet every time it's flu season?
It's coming.
Everybody's scared. When I was a kid, I'm looking out here in the lobby. I see a couple young guys out here. Let me tell you something. When I was a kid, we didn't even wear bike helmets. I can hear some of you Xers and Zs going, yeah, it's because you all were a bunch of idiots. No. We didn't have any more head injuries than you do. And you know what? When I fell off my bike and skinned my knee, I wasn't laid up for a day. My dad got some Bactine and sprayed it on there. It was like liquid fire going into my leg. And he was like, get back up on the bike. Everybody's scared. No wonder we can't sleep. Stop watching the news. Certainly before bed. Yikes. Here's one other item. This is really important. I just went off on a little rant. Stay focused here. 49% of people believe their emotional health would improve if they got better quality sleep. Well, of course. One of the things I say to my kids, even the teenage boys, they hate this. I've never stopped saying it, and they're grumpy. They come downstairs in the morning. What's going on, Mr. Cranky Pants? Well, here's the deal. We're all cranky when we're tired. Americans believe by a tune of 44% that their mental health would get better with more sleep, concentration, 43%, and even their appetite would improve. Well, of course it would. If you're getting a good night's sleep, you can have a little celery and hummus as opposed to the Snickers bar. I'm not hating on Snickers, by the way. Turns out it actually does satisfy. But I don't need all the sugar. So, why do I share that? Because I think a lot of men and women who are on the journey to purpose, what we talk about here on this show, and you're getting after it. You're trying to launch that side hustle. You're trying to run that small business. You're trying to do some training on the side while you're working in the day job, and you're exhausted physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I'm saying that a huge part of your ability to perform at a peak level, to get where you want to go, has to do with your sleep. And I would start taking your sleep very seriously. More on that in the days ahead. So I hope you start to take your sleep seriously. You can't keep doing it. You just can't. Some of you are in a leadership position and you're getting some reviews where you're biting people's head off. I wonder how good a sleep you're getting. Some of you are going, Ken, I don't think I can take those extra night classes to get where I want to go because I'm so tired, because you're not getting the sleep that you need. Here's the great news about Netflix and Amazon Prime. All those shows are still there. Less TV, less negative news, less sugar, more exercise, going to bed earlier. We've got to start taking our sleep very, very seriously.